6.5 thousand upvotes for Am I the asshole for telling my sister that the name she chose for her son was not an actual name, but a nickname our grandfather hated? Uh, I don't normally have opinions for names just because I'm not in a place to have a baby yet. But 6,000 upvotes. This has to be spicy. My sister wants to honor our late grandfather on her son's in her son's name and chose to call her son Bobby, which is what pretty much everybody calls our grandpa. She mentioned the name being so special because it was his beloved great grandfather's name, and that would be so special for a grandpa to have his name live on. First off, from reading that alone, it's I will say that just because a name has a bad history, like I've met other people with really iffy names, but I don't feel like someone should be discouraged about being named a certain name because of of history drama. Like by all means, like eventually, like names have their own weights, so it's not about the name; it's about the person behind the name. But anyways, I don't know. I'm being semantic here. Bobby was my grandfather's nickname, and he hated it. His actual name was Cyrus, which was my grandmother's mom's maiden name. Grandpa was named that by her, and after she died, and his dad remarried, they started to call him Bobby because his stepmother's dad was Robert. Wait, what? Wait, I don't get it. His real name is Cyrus, which was great grandma's mom, which was great grandmother's maiden name. Grandpa was named that by her, and Grandpa was named that by her. And after she died, his dad remarried. They started calling him Bobby because his stepmother's dad was Robert. Hold on, so you're not wait. What? Grandpa always hated Bobby, but after years of people refusing to listen to him, he gave up. He had a handful of friends who called him Cyrus and Cy, but that was it. Wait, hold on. And she was upset and asked why he hated Bobby. Bobby is so cute. I asked her how she'd feel to be named after her late parent, and for his surviving parent and step parent to then rename you after the step parent side unofficially, but to the point where it stuck more than your actual name. She was glad at first, but after a few weeks she snapped and told me that she doesn't like Cyrus and ruined the name Bobby for her. I mean, I feel like she's not the asshole. I don't feel like she's the asshole, but like let's pull a diagram. Let's pull a diagram. Let's see if I can make sense out of this. Note. No, that let's use paint. Okay, let's use paint. Hold on. So, let's see. Oh, that's far too big. You know what? I don't need paint because like this makes reasonable sense to where so this is so confusing. I would say that Grandpa's parents were the assholes because his dad sided with his stepmother to rename the kid. Which is really curious because how do you go through that? It's really confusing the more you read into it, but it's so crazy. His real name is Cyrus, which is what his grandpa's mom, which was his grandpa's mom's maiden name. Okay, so maiden name. Isn't the maiden name like the last name, like somebody's last name? Grandpa was named that by his mom. So his original name was Cyrus, and then to be renamed by his own dad and his stepmother to Bobby because his stepmom was Robert. So he was named Bobby because of her because of his stepmom's dad. But his name is Cyrus. So the the step great grandmother is the asshole here. But in terms of like the sister feeling upset about learning the truth, I mean, I don't know. I feel like she is. I don't feel like you're the asshole for telling her the truth. I feel like as much as it's your, you are more than allowed to like tell the truth. Telling the truth is like fine. It brings up clarity in some things. Like you're more than welcome to like say, hey, gotta let you know that as much as we love Grandpa, Grandpa didn't really like that name. So it's more of a nickname. His name that we've called him for so many years is a nickname where he gave up. He gave up correcting people, and I feel bad for Grandpa. But I don't think she's the asshole for telling her sister. So I don't know. That's what I think. But what does the chat think? What does the suburbs think? Not NTA. You told her the truth and she can't handle it, which is fine. That makes sense because if her sister is really upset that the name was ruined, then choose a different name. If you don't like the name Cyrus, if you don't want to disrespect your grandfather, then choose a different name. I'm sorry that you like the name Bobby. You're attached to the name Bobby because your grandfather was named Bobby. Out of not in choice. So if you don't like the name Cyrus, then just choose something else. Like that is her problem. The following comment to that first one is that is her problem. Uh, only original poster only listed the facts and told her how it is, and the caveat is that the baby isn't even born yet. So yeah, it's not like how there to be a name. You can whether or not you keep the name Bobby is up to you. But again, that is your child. You're for the mother of the child. You're more than willing to call him Bobby. That is your choice. But to the rest of the family, they will know that this was a name not preferred. However, it's really semantics right now. Um, is the great grandson gonna be upset? No, he's gonna make the name. But that is really tricky. That is really tricky. You're being tricky here. So yeah, just don't pick the name Cyrus, and that's your fault for like hating the name Bobby. But yeah, you don't have to name the kid Bobby. It's not even born yet. Part of me is wondering why this wasn't known to the original poster sister. It doesn't seem like it was a family secret, so I wondered if the sister did know and just chose to forget about it until it was brought back up. Yeah, if because that makes sense. If she remembers the grandfather is Bobby, they're gonna name the kid Bobby. They named the kid that way because they loved that name. So that makes sense. Is there like, hold on. Okay, so the next comment is Cyrus is a cool name, so not the asshole. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So names are names. How you wear the name is up to you. So again, like Cyrus is not a bad name, but also if you don't like the name Cyrus, you don't have to pick it. You don't have to get upset by your sister because she corrected your knowledge of it. She just makes you understand that there is a history behind the name Bobby. You can still love grandfather Bobby, but you don't have to use the name Cyrus, even though that is his actual name, which is a little weird. I can we just like make a different post to where we hate on the great grandmother because for some reason the great grandmother decided to like rename the kid without the kid's approval, and his dad went along with it. He is the asshole for going along with this name change. That's like you are terrible. How would you feel if like you've gone through a certain, if you've gone through living with one name, and without your permission, everybody gone on the hype train of calling you a different name. Like my full name is Wtphu, and I didn't like Fu for the longest time because I was bullied on it. So I maintained the introduction to everybody as Tyler. And sure, I would have kept the name Tyler to be like said to everybody because the model minority mindset of my parents, they named me an American name and made that the first part of my name so I wouldn't get bullied. But I got bullied anyway when my mom slapped together Fu on it, so it's Tylerphu without a space. Tyler Fu sounds like you should have a space on it. You could be named Tyler, you can be named Fu, but Tyler Fu is the first full name, and she tried to not get me like in trouble with the kids because generally if you're named like an Asian name like Flung or Fong or Kan, Americans in the early 90s are the kids in the 90s are very bullery. So getting named that way, getting named that way was definitely a problem for me. Hey Joanna.
Yes.
Did you have a Filipino name?
No.
You never got one?
Nope.
Ah, okay. How would you feel if your mom and dad got remarried and then they changed name without your permission?
Changed their last name?
First name.
First name?
Yeah. Because
their first name?
Yeah, so this grandfather was originally named Cyrus, but when the stepmother came in, stepmom changed Cyrus's name to Bobby because of her dad's name, and his father went along with it. So do you think that's terrible?
I mean, it's weird.
It's weird that you got name changed without consent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird, but again, your face is like covered by like the window if you look at it. It's really cool. It's really funny. Good. Cover up more. I'm gonna cover you more. Now you're just like a window.
Great.
Yes, but yeah, definitely. So essentially, the great grandmother is the asshole for changing the name. The poster, not the asshole. You're not at fault for telling the truth. You're telling the truth. If the other person, if your sister doesn't like the truth, they can suck it, because this guy says, sounds like the kind of guy who tries to unite street gangs in New York City, only to get assassinated in the middle for some big meet in the park. Oh yeah, sounds like the kind of guy who gets sounds like a West Side Story gang. West Side Story story. Let's see one more post. Is there someone that agrees? Not the asshole. Yeah, everybody agrees that they're not the asshole. Not the asshole. It wasn't his name and he hated it. She literally named her son after stepmother's dad. While it stings right now, deep down she will appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, just sister, don't get so butthurt that you can't use the name Bobby. Just be happy that you know the truth. Be happy that you're honoring your grandfather, but not using his nickname. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. This person is not the a-hole. What do you think? Bye-bye.